Aloha. It's time for Java. Thank you for joining me. This is for Wednesday, March 13th, 2024. A lot to cover today. So we'll just start into the markets. First off, just want to say thank you to Alan Greenspan for yesterday. And as always, Cynthia Kazir, always between both us and Craig. So thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. So let's go right into our risk indicator. Did shift a bit. We're watching relative strength of the dollar as well as the 10-year yield. So both of those showed a bit of strength yesterday, which pressured stocks. They kind of dropped for a while and then had a bit of a recovery towards the end of the day. So what we're watching today is at the moment they're in the green as well as the futures. We don't have so much as far as reports. We've got crude oil inventories coming in, which could affect that sector. However, we're watching the 30-year bond auction because that is basically the loans and the dollars coming back in. We're going to watch that flow. It does affect the yields that we are watching. So right now, markets definitely in greed territory in about 7 of the 9 indicators. So I'm expecting a bit of continuation with that. The interesting thing is that the VIX or volatility index is also in green. So it's not often that these all agree. So we'll keep an eye on that today. We are expecting tomorrow, however, more inflation reports and PPI. So we'll see if that has an effect as well as jobless claims, because yesterday it just kind of showed that inflation is continuing, which we knew, but it stayed right in line with expectations. So with that, I just want to say what the market is expecting is called the Fed put. It's another nickname for it. Basically, that's stepping in and giving rate cuts and bolstering the markets again. So everybody's back to that line of thinking. So we got more reports coming out. It's kind of shifting that Americans facing unprecedented financial crisis. Well, they're talking about our debt, so we're watching the debt sales because it's pretty key. Cannot go on forever, but they're pushing it for now. So we've got some more conflicting things, and that's showing the beginning of a shift in my mind. The UK economy rebounds in January after slipping into recession. So, right after this, we've got the Eurozone production slumps as economy starts with a stumble. So, kind of unstable in what's going on here. We also know Germany has had multiple problems, and we've got the war machine going on, which is actually a bolster to the economy. So, European Union, with all of this weakness and issues of their own, they are trying to put together a 7.4 billion euro package for Egypt after their devaluation. Oh, what does this mean? They're trying to purchase some of their assets for cheap, basically. So, back to the unprecedented financial crisis coming for the United States and actually globally. This is a colored marker. So, over the years and the time here, and during the different administrations, what it's showing, each different colored bar is $1 trillion that was added to the debt. So I thought this was an interesting chart because it shows each trillion, the amount that it's raised, and how quickly now we've got those $1 trillion just kind of packing onto our debt. Unsustainable. For now, they're continuing to inflate that bubble. So we've got global banks participating in a large-scale blockchain pilot test. So for all of the talking about not going to a central bank digital currency, now we've got more proof they're doing the back testing, calling Canton Network's Inception. So 155 participants from 45 major organizations and across 22 blockchains. They're just setting up CBDCs. I mean, more and more, regardless what they say. So a little bit of market mover. If you're looking at Intel, yesterday did have quite the green day. However, the Pentagon has said that they are now withdrawing their grant. So I expect a little bit of red for them today. just to, not financial advice, but just to watch your positions there. So we've been talking about this here, about the insurance crisis. So now they are finally admitting this. Jerome Powell saying hidden reason why inflation is staying high is because it's becoming increasingly uninsurable. So as I was saying before, this is cross-border. The two main ones are showing at the moment are either housing or vehicle insurance. So if you want to own a home, or if you're planning on traveling anywhere, those insurance are skyrocketing between 20 and 30% in some places, and it's making it unaffordable. The other one that isn't really covered there, because I'm surprised they avoided the terms environmental issues, because they're blaming a lot of it on that. However, health insurance is another key one that we'll be putting into this that no one is really talking about yet at the moment. But I expect that one to be adding into that very soon. So with this, we've got Florida, which has been a booming market in the US. They're facing a crisis as prices cannot make up for the insurance increase, but also homeowners association dues. And the other one is property taxes. So those are just, kind of building towards that you'll own nothing narrative. So with this, the other aspect of the economy, and we're getting more numbers tomorrow, is layoffs could be coming as debt-laden firms try to navigate the pain of higher rates. So they're saying that the companies have not fully adjusted for the rate hikes, and there's many more layoffs that would be coming, and this is just kind of a given. So the only thing I disagree with here is they're talking about unemployment could rise by about 5% by the year end, according to the economists. Well, that depends on how you measure it. So currently they're saying unemployment is just below 4%, hovering between 3.8, 3.9. My estimation, real unemployment will be north of 20%. So prior to getting any rate cuts, I think the real unemployment rate, which translates into above 5% even in by their figuring, I figure it the old-fashioned way, we should be between 25, probably 23, 25%. So we'll see. So as they're saying this, they must have missed these stories, because they're talking about Shell about to cut about 20% of their jobs, UBS doing job cuts, and there's multiple others. So we've got Dollar Tree closing nearly 1,000 stores. They're talking about lease ending, and they just don't want to renew their leases. So doesn't matter what you say as the reason. Basically, it's a crush that's happening. And what happens to all of those employees? Well, they'll be let go as well. So what's happening on the broader scale of this, we've got the war machine going. So with all of the economic troubles and the debt, we've got the Pentagon budget is doubling its budget for Haiti because they want to deploy there. So this is another massive cover-up. I'm not going to go into it this time, but something that needs to be covered, because it's basically a Caribbean form of Ukraine. We are deploying there. We've got military presence. And for all of the stories that come out, the real deep story is that it's covering the corruption and money laundering that has been done there in the past. So we've got Pentagon still with Ukraine giving $300 million in a weapons package now, and they're rush ordering this, even though we're lacking the funds to replenish its own stockpile. On top of this, they're putting $850 billion that are getting into the stockpiles because they want to arm Taiwan. So several fronts going at once, and how they plan on covering this is going to be very interesting. So we've got the Army also, and these are direct stories coming right out of military news, so not something made up. But they're planning a big boost to Pacific operations next year, more training, more deployments, more equipment. And this is in addition. So services requesting 200% increase in funding for Pacific training and deployment according to the budget documents. So, with all of this spending to put more out, on the other side, for the Veterans Administration, they're planning to cut 10,000 jobs this year, mostly from medical sites. And this is the largest total in department history cut. So, no more medical services. They're going to go out, send bombs, and all of these other things causing the issues. On the other side of this, we've got a bit of a bright light at the end of the tunnel, although unfortunately it's not here, but kind of showing a good way that would be done. El Salvador is eliminating income tax on investment from overseas. So this is how they're getting their businesses built there. They're inviting innovation as well as development and using other countries to do it. So I wanted to put a word out about Boeing. A lot of trouble in this because I've had a couple of you talk about investing in it. Southwest also following with this, so the airline's having some difficult issues. If you bought into Boeing, it always depends on where and what your strategy is. So it's not necessarily just about price, but also timing and your exit plan. So I just want to bring this up. Currently, it's about hovering around the 184, 185 range. I put this in because this support line from before that I'm expecting the next level, I always talk about levels, is 175. If it goes below that, we're talking about lows from the cough pandemic area, which was 120. So if it gets down to there, that's in my mind an amazing opportunity. I don't think we'll be that fortunate. I'm putting in some smaller buy levels at 185 and then down at 175 is a larger possibility, but we may not hit that. So they've got basically government backing and a military side to them. This all feels, it has a put on feel to it, to me. So I'm just going to leave with that. Not financial advice. Invest at your own risk. If you would like to get out, understanding that it can go to these levels, I just want to make you aware of that. So a couple of lava updates. The first one is that there is major solar eclipse coming up. We've got Texas officials warning people to stock up on food because they think it will be too busy. I think you should anyway, just because it's a good idea to. We've also had a formal report from the government saying it is possible for extinction level threat from artificial intelligence. Well, that depends on who's training it. And this is why I want to kind of look into the space myself. Also, we've got your car secretly spying on you and increasing insurance rates. So watch your driving because what's happening, this is the, what is it, the LexisNexis reports, I believe that they're saying, sending them now directly to insurance companies. And they are using that information, whether that's legal or not, just to let you know that that is happening. And there are more reports of this coming out. So with that, wishing you great day, wonderful trading day in general. Thank you all so much. Wish you all blessings. And until I see you again, stay free.